I think we can now come to the grand finale, the speaker of the morning, Dr. Milind Wagh. I've known Milind and his wife Ashwini for a very long time. Ashwini, please rise wherever you are. And Neha, the daughter, Neha, the graphic designer daughter, Ashwini is the general secretary. Neha, please rise. Yeah. So, and we have a cousin of theirs, the district governor of Rotary, Bansi Dhuranda. Bansi, please rise here. Yeah. Bansi has been here several times. He was heading Rotary for several years and a very dear friend, a wonderful human being. So all in all, we didn't know the relationship, and that's how people come together whenever there's a good cause coming up. Coming back to Dr. Milind Wagh. Milind Wagh did his undergraduate MBBS. He entered MBBS in 1982. Passed out MS General Surgery, again from Nair Hospital, and did his plastic surgery from Sion Hospital in 1994. Then he was interested in microvascular surgery, proceeded to Australia under David O'Brien, trained as a microvascular surgeon, practiced as a microvascular surgeon for 15 years. Then suddenly he decided to change. Cosmetic surgery attracted him. He said, I'll change. And people were wondering, how will he change after 15 years of practice? But then I think once a goal is decided, karenge ya marenge, with that attitude, he switched to cosmetic surgery. And today is one of the leading cosmetic surgeons attached to Khar Hinduja Hospital, Hiranandani Hospital, and practices essentially breast surgery, facial rejuvenation surgery, and body contouring. He has various passions. He's one of those guys who is a restless soul. Not easy, happy, just with excelling in his own field of chosen endeavor, that is plastic surgery. He travels extensively, generally Europe, America, and Canada, those areas. Does a lot of trekking and untrodden paths. He is very fond of writing blogs, and whatever he feels like, he's very, very steady and writes whatever he feels like without bothering about consequences. At times gets into trouble. And because people know him, they said, yes, this is Milind Wagh, wo to likhega. And all in all, he does a lot of bird watching of the feathered kind. That's what he writes in his little biodata. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful human being, a skillful surgeon, and a great friend. Milind Wagh for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Keswani. I'm not too sure how much of that introduction was true, especially the wonderful human being part. But, well, I try to get along. So, respected Dr. Keswani, the office bearers of the Indian Burns Research Society, illustrious members in the audience, my dear friends. I'm used to talking a lot on plastic surgical subjects. Some of this gray hair is because of that. But I'm not used to talking on non-clinical subjects. So when I was asked by Dr. Keswani, he said the one prerequisite for giving this oration is that you have to be speaking on a non-clinical subject. I was a little nonplussed. And I thought a little while, I consulted my wife. She said, you're not capable of speaking on non-clinical subjects. But that's what a wife is. But I said, let me talk on something that will probably bring happiness to people. And that is why I chose this subject. And then I thought a little bit about it. Let me start my oration by paying tribute to this stalwart among us from our community. We all know him, one of the pioneers of burn surgery in India. And Dr. Sunil Keswani, his father. And as you heard, the generation has gone to the third generation. Siddharth is there. I've interacted with him a few times, and I think he's destined for a great future himself. And then I've learned that there is a granddaughter and a grandson as well. So there's a fourth generation coming up. So may the generations thrive in the future as well. So why did I choose this subject? Well, happy is a ubiquitous word. It's everywhere. You know, we keep saying happy all the time. Happy birthday, happy returns of the day, happy new year, happy anniversary, happy holidays, happy Independence Day, this, that. Everything seems to be happy. But what is the definition of happiness? Is it possible to define happiness? Well, let's try. Happiness, as defined by the Oxford Dictionary, is a state of emotional well-being characterized by feelings of contentment, joy, and satisfaction, and not a fleeting emotion. It involves a positive evaluation of one's life, a sense of purpose, and the presence of more positive experiences than negative ones. It's something quite overwhelming actually to read even in the definition. This is an existential question. Why do we seek happiness? Are we actually psychologically wired for it? The Dalai Lama himself says the purpose of our life is to be happy. I think it's fundamentally linked to survival, emotional regulation, and biological well-being. And very often it acts as a reward for actions that promote a better life. In a sense, after all these fundas that I'm giving you, we seek happiness because it's the default state of well-being that we desire on a day-to-day basis and throughout our life. And as we grow up, our minds are taught to pursue it as the highest good. Some more jargon acts as a survival mechanism. Positive emotions increase resilience to stress. It helps us to manage setbacks, broadens our mindset, etc., etc. This is all, by the way, from ChatGPT. Nowadays, you can't make a presentation without ChatGPT. But is it only emotional, or is it physical or physiological as well? Finally, I'm a doctor, right? So I have to go back to my basics. Is there something physiological or physical in this? And yes, indeed there is. There are happiness hormones. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, multiple organs that make these hormones and control how we feel. But what actually shapes happiness? Again, our mindset, our relationships, our habits, and our perspective. So everything really surrounds us all the time, in our waking state, in our consciousness, it's all around us. Happiness differs in different stages of life. In infancy, it's probably, and no baby has been precocious enough to tell us otherwise, it's probably the mother. I don't know why not the father, but probably the mother. In childhood, it's maybe just playing, having friends, getting treats from time to time. In teenage, at least as far as I remember, mostly raging hormones. In young adulthood, now your perspectives change, you start getting responsibilities, you feel that a career is something that you need to do, maybe settle down, get married, etc., etc. In middle age, again, you become more mature, you feel that your happiness depends upon other things other than these materialistic issues. And finally, in old age, I will tell you something, I'm getting there myself. I think happiness really is not having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. That's happiness. Let's talk a little more about happiness. Why it sometimes feels that everyone else seems to have it, and why our own is, looks like, these phrases, out for delivery, sorry for delay, inconvenience, regretted. Let's explore whether happiness in this lifelong quest is actually something closer than we actually think and think so much about. There is this phrase called the happiness illusion. Why does everyone seem happier than us? This is because, to a large extent in the 21st century, we are surrounded by social media. Wow, everyone is thriving except me. Distant seeming life goals. I will be happy when this happens. And there's a constant FOMO. This is something that I learned from my daughter, FOMO. Fear of missing out. And comparison with others constantly. Iske paas ye hai, mere paas nahi hai. This man has this woman has this, I do not have it. So in this era of such powerful social media influences in our lives, open Instagram, or even Snapchat, or even Facebook. And again, my daughter tells me Facebook is for dinosaurs, and I am only on Facebook. So you can, you know how she quantifies me. Suddenly, everybody seems to have six-pack abs, at least a flat tummy. वो मेरे पास भी नहीं है. Strong emotional stability, no worries whatsoever at all, and at the very least, a dog that seems to listen to you. And I don't have it. It can feel like happiness is a secret club where everyone has else been invited to as members, but you're still not a member for some reason. So when we say I want to be happy, do we all mean the same thing? No, I don't think so. There is this old age idea that happiness is a marathon. It's a marathon run. It's a quest for life. But the modern quantification seems to be that it can still be delivered with Blinkit or Instamart at really fast shipping speeds. And for everybody in this audience, it's different. It's comfort and pleasure for some. For others, it's like ticking off goals. And for many of us, it's a feeling that your life actually matters for someone. And I don't think there's any better place or any better personality than Dr. Prema Dhanraj, who just spoke before me about this particular matter. But we expect all three 24/7 all the time. We set ourselves for a permanent sense of failure. Because real life changes, real happiness changes constantly. It's not one emotion, it's a mix.
Here's a little song I wrote.
So we must concentrate on happiness in small steps. Enjoy small pleasures, feel proud of our progress,
Be happy.
and have a meaningful life. If we demand all three of these 24/7, then congratulations and all the best to you. We have successfully built for ourselves an impossible job description. And remember, as far as happiness is concerned, there is no retirement from this job because it is our life itself. Am I getting a little too serious? Maybe, but we'll come to a few things later. So there are, again, going back to the subject of my talk, two main myths about happiness. Lifelong quest. Someday when I have X, Y, Z, I will be truly happy. Or the absolute other, instant nirvana. One precious purchase away. A success course which is advertised as surefire. The latest iPhone, a luxury car, either a BMW or a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce or what is the, I don't know, sorry, I only have an Ertiga. Or a very fancy, luxurious overseas trip. So there is a tendency to swing between the two extremes. I know if I grind long enough, I'll probably be happy, maybe at 65, I have 4 years to go. Or maybe I can shortcut it with meditation at a yoga retreat, do some vipassana maybe. Maybe select some crystals that bring me luck. Or just in case, let me also have a Navaratna ring. Maybe that will help. But what is the actual reality? Somewhere in between. So that is what's called the happiness horizon. I will be happy when I get a job, when I lose 10 kilos, when I find the one. I have found the one incidentally, but we'll talk about that a little later. And the goalposts keep moving. Every time you come near the goal, you're dribbling away, going past hurdles, you come near the goalpost you find is moving. So are you never going to be happy? And when you acquire something, notice, and I'm sure everybody in the audience will know this, the brain keeps saying, I will be happy when, and when you get there, it just updates the software and asks for more. It's like an happiness horizon, like a mirage. You're getting close, and the moment you get there, the horizon is further and further. So it goes away the same distance. I read about this on, again, our old friend ChatGPT. The hedonic treadmill. Hedonic means happiness. So why does new stuff that we coveted for so long, I talked about it, a new iPhone, a new luxury car, a beautiful 4-bedroom house, whatever. When it's new, we say, wow. 3 months later, it's just another car. I wish I had that one. If it's a new phone, it's exciting for a week, but, oh, when's the new model coming? Because the brain resets to a baseline. This is the concept called the hedonic treadmill. You are running on the treadmill, running on the treadmill, running on the treadmill. The horizon is far, far away. So the reality check is that happiness is an ongoing skill. It's not a destination. It is not a download. It's not like it's a race to a one-time finish line. It requires regular work. It needs practice, good habits, and lots of patience. We ought to think of happiness as something like mental fitness. You don't say, मैं 10 साल पहले जिम में एक बार गया था, now I'm fit for life. That doesn't happen. The same with happiness. It needs maintenance and cannot be achieved once and for all. Let's go to the other extreme, instant nirvana. Is there such a thing, instant nirvana? I mean, can we go through life seeking multiple moments of instant nirvana? Again, the answer is yes and no. Is it a fantasy, or can we aim for straightaway enlightenment? A meditation app, you see all apps everywhere in our lives. Become calm in 7 days. A self-help bestseller book, New York bestseller list. 10%, 10 times productivity is equal to 10 times happiness. And the latest, now this I discovered through my sister-in-law, manifest it. If you think about it hard enough, it will happen. Sit on your ass, but think about it hard enough and it will happen. We are constantly being sold this fantasy of pressing a button and entering this permanent Zen territory. Buy this app, read this book, do this 7-day challenge, ding, instant enlightenment. If only the human brain was that simple, then we would all be in paradise and we wouldn't have to strive for certain things. This is the nub of my talk. There is instant nirvana. But what is instant nirvana? It is the tiny joys theory. Micro happiness, choti baatein. A great cup of coffee or tea, or if I may be pardoned, you know what I mean, a tasty bite, a melodious song, jokes and camaraderie with friends, a cricket shot, Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Wagh, kya baat hai. A tennis rally, Roger Federer on that forehand and Rafael Nadal on the backhand. Incredible. That is happiness. Watching the waves when you sit on a beach, seeing a lovely sunrise, looking at your child play. True happiness, I tell you, and I will show what it means. And small acts of giving kindness to other people. So a big part of happiness is not these massive Dhurandhar movements. Dhurandhar is the flavor of the month right the moment. So big part of happiness are not Dhurandhar movements, small, tiny, repeatable steps, micro doses of happiness. They add up like interest on a principle and like SIPs who compound contentment instead of money. A lot of talk that I've already made myself, but research-based, evidence-based issues. Big three as they are called. Connections and interactions with people, real conversations, not social media likes. I have a friend who's on Instagram. He said, "Sir, मैंने मेरा best result डाला. अभी 3 महीने हो गए, मेरे को सिर्फ 50 likes मिले. I'm unhappy." Contributions, helping, creating, adding value to other people's lives. Growth, constantly learning. Life is a constant learning process. No ego, no prejudice. Improving and getting better if you can, and trying out new things. So if there is a cheat code to the game of happiness, it is these 3 really boring, unsexy things. But it is extremely effective. Very often certain things get in the way. Of course, other people get in the way. There is jealousy, there is envy. But more often than not, it is you yourself who gets in the way of your happiness. And I call that happiness blocker. Overthinking, self-criticism about yourself. Perfectionist. I didn't do this right. I could have done it better. If it is not perfect, it doesn't count. Chronic comparison. We already talked about this a little earlier. And never unplugging. I have a friend of mine who says, "I can't go to sleep because I saw this result by this guy and I don't know why I can't give the same result to my patient." I said, "Tu pagal hai kya? Are you out of your mind? You will never be happy. You have to unplug. If you have to get to sleep every night, you have to unplug." For most of us then, our quest is not sabotaged by others. It is not, by lack of candles on our happiness cake or inspirational quotes. It's a constant comparison, your own harsh inner critic. And the feeling that we should always be doing more. So happiness sometimes is what is left when you stop attacking yourself and you assess your life and you decide, this is good enough for me because our needs are finite and our wants are infinite. So if you go after your wants all your life, you're never going to be happy. 21st century Guru Gyan. This is not from ChatGPT. This is from another artificial intelligence aid called Grok. I'd never heard of it until 3 months ago. But now everything is artificial intelligence. I'm wondering whether I am intelligent at all or not. So 3 practices you can probably try and tolerate. And this has been changed by my daughter, current Gen Z lingo. 2-minute gratitude scan. Mentally name 3 things that didn't go wrong with me. अरे 3 क्या, मैं तो 15 चीज बोलता हूँ. every day. अरे ये नहीं हुआ, ट्रैफिक में मेरे को हवालदार ने पकड़ा, मेरे को पार्किंग नहीं मिला हिंदुजा में. But think of things that you could be, have gratitude for. A connection ping. Ping again is Gen Z lingo. Send one real message to somebody who you like, thinking of you, how are you doing today? A small micro self-upgrade. Improve something about you by 1%, just 1%. Small little steps. So these are low-effort, non-cringy ways to increase your happiness baseline. Appreciate small non-disasters, reach out to one person genuinely, and make tiny upgrades. So what is the verdict? Is happiness a lifelong quest, or is it infinite nirvana? Well, it's neither. It's neither a distant treasure chest, nor are we after a one-click download. It's a long-term relationship, built daily, refreshed often, and admittedly sometimes messy. Remember one important thing: happiness and sorrow are two sides of the same coin of life. They're yin and yang, like a sequence and consequence. You remember the expression tears of joy? Now tears are equated with sadness, but here we have this expression saying tears of joy. It obviously means that they are two sides of the same coin. And this is a lovely poem by Rudyard Kipling titled If, and I would like to paraphrase this a little bit. If we can meet with happiness and sadness and treat both these imposters just the same, you have covered half the distance to achieving your own happiness. Ikigai. This is something that I discovered in my 50s. Thank God I didn't discover it in my 40s. It would have been a difficult thing for me. It's a Japanese concept that roughly translates to a reason for being. The Japanese are good at a hell of a lot of things, but they're really good about certain things related to the mind. It represents an idea of having a purpose in life, something that brings joy and fulfillment. And there is a lot of similar things in Hindu culture. But apna kaun sunta hai? Do you know that, I think you probably know that Kolhapuri chappals are now being marketed by Prada and cost around $500. I used to have the same Kolhapuri chappals for 50 rupees. But nada. When Prada put them up for marketing. So the Japanese are good. Japanese are not quite Western, but the Japanese are good enough. India, they're discovering India just now, slowly. So what are the elements of Ikigai? What you love, which is passion, what you're good at, which is your profession, what the world needs, which is your mission, and what you can be paid for. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, finally. But it's there in the Japanese culture as well. So what are the 7 rules of Ikigai? Very simple, and everybody can follow them. Stay active, do not retire, leave urgency behind, adopt a slower pace of life, only eat until you're 80% full. Surround yourself, always surround yourself with good friends. Get in shape through daily gentle exercise, and smile and acknowledge people around you. Reconnect with nature. This is something that is disappearing very quickly from our lives. I would like to put a sort of a negative point here. Is perverse happiness wrong? We are all human beings here. Yeah, we are all human beings here. We are all imperfect. Is it okay to be happy in someone else's misfortune? Because your happiness could be someone else's sadness. I think it's okay. We are all imperfect. You can sometimes feel happy about something bad happening to somebody else, but do not open Pandora's box. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. And there is this brilliant, quixotic literary genius who said, some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. So design your personal own version of happiness. What gives me energy? What makes me honestly feel most like myself? What would enough look like for me? My needs, not my wants. So I know when to stop climbing and start just enjoying the view where I am. What little small tiny joy can I add to my life today, this week, this month? So there is no universal all-for-one recipe. You mix and match and you create your own. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're not bored enough of me, I would like to spend the next 5 minutes, if Dr. Keswani permits me, to go through my many personal versions of happiness. Forgive me if I become emotional, and forgive me if my wife starts glaring at me. Please do not look in her direction. family, of course. What can cause more happiness than family? And for me, this one is above everyone else. My wife, my best friend, I met her in 1992, and our love story was in the aftermath of the Babri Masjid riots. We used to work in Sion Hospital in the emergency department together. And there is actually a film about it, not about our love story. Huh? It's called Bombay. I'm sure you've seen that film. Arvind Swamy, I'm told I look like him, but the mustache is different now. And who was the lady? Manisha Koirala? Manisha Koirala, yeah. So you see that first photograph, she still looks nice in black and white. None of my photographs look good enough, so I had to resort to all color photographs. But I still get starry-eyed when that lady flashes a smile. The heart palpitates, and after 32 years, 4 months and 2 days, agar ye haal aisa hai, so I'm happy. We travel a lot together. We love to travel whenever we can. So these are some glimpses from where we've gone to different places. You can see the Eiffel Tower in the background. That was at the restaurant in the Eiffel Tower on our anniversary in 2016. We've gone to Italy, we've gone to UK, USA, etc., and we really enjoyed each other's company. And I hope that I can grow old together with her. My kids, I have a son and a daughter, and they are the apples of my eye. And this is what I mean by fun and happiness when they are kids. It requires so little. We used to have a one-bedroom house. We are so happy. You can see my son being a complete fool of himself, but it was great fun. Because I watch it very, very often.
Ready?
And this fellow. Now this boy is a little older, but look at him. Now I'm torn halfway between wondering whether he'll break his neck, and I wish I could do it myself.
I stood it.
That is happiness. And there they are now. They are all, both of them are grown up. And this is the eve of my son's wedding, when they were practicing for the wedding itself. So my son and daughter doing a dance. And you can see my wife in the background there, and I am taking photographs, I am taking a video, feeling as happy as I can. Yeah, that laughter, I mean, what can make you happier than that? And then, of course, we are very, very fortunate, both Ashwini and I, my wife, to have our mothers. We both lost our fathers, but my mother-in-law is 93, and my mother will be 92 this year. And we are very, very fortunate to have them. We cherish them. And long may they live. My son got married last year, December 2024, and I firmly, absolutely, and completely believe that a daughter-in-law is a daughter gained. So now I have 2 daughters and a son. Siblings, as you know, precious like nothing else. We all have our fights. We have more fights actually than being together, but of course, as siblings, brothers and sisters, it really doesn't matter. And of course, bonds of family are the strongest of all bonds. Friends. How can one go through life without friends? Friends are really the essence of happiness. So when I was in Nair, my batch is 1982 when I entered Nair, so we've had friends for 44 years, and they are absolutely precious to me. And I know that I can do this with them. This man who is in space is a neurosurgeon, and this is me doing moonwalk. Better than Michael Jackson, wouldn't you say?
Go on, move it, baby.
See that? That's me.
बहुत पास में आ रहा है तुम्हारा.
He says बहुत पास में आ रहा है.
इसको डर लग रहा है.
कुछ कर डाले तो.
So you can really let your hair down with friends. No inhibitions. They knew you when you were a callow 18-year-old, and they still know you. No problem at all. And then my group of plastic surgery friends, irreplaceable and absolutely precious to me. A couple of them are in the audience. I'm so grateful to them for being here. They're all absolute stalwarts in their own field, and for some strange reason, everybody is in a different field. One is a burn specialist, one is a hand and brachial plexus specialist, one is a cleft and craniofacial specialist, one is an aesthetic surgeon, one is a all-rounder, one is a microsurgeon. For some reason, we are all different, but we gel so beautifully together. Some photographs. The gentleman in the middle there is Dr. Shirang Purohit, who is there in the audience. Shirang, in the essence of Dr. Keswani, is saying, please rise. I'm so fortunate to be your friend. Thank you so much. Dr. Nitin Mokal, a great cleft and craniofacial surgeon. Dr. Mukund Thatte, he always doesn't appear like this, by the way. This was a costume party. And if he saw this photograph, he will probably curse me for displaying it. Dr. Samir Kumta and Dr. Shailesh Ranade, my group of friends from. Then, of course, I have some colleagues. I'm extremely proud of them. I've been proud to be their teacher, Dr. Varun Dikshit and Dr. Anand Joshi. Anand is in the audience. Varun is also there, I think. Varun, please. Yeah, there's Varun. And they are established plastic surgeons in their own right, rising stars in the field of plastic surgery, and I simply couldn't be prouder. Plastic surgeons have fun as well. Yeah, this is at conferences. This idea came from me. I decided to be Akshay Kumar in Bhul Bhulaiya, and that's my wife. Who is she? Who do you think she is? Close. Gabbar Singh, right? And this was at the recent aesthetic surgery conference that was held in Mumbai, where I decided to replicate Lokmanya Tilak. Wasn't very successful at that. And then again, another costume there. It was an 60s theme. Well, the essence of our life is surgical work and teaching. And I'm happiest, really, to be honest, when I'm very, very lucky that I can do what I love to do. I'm happy that I can get up in the morning, every single morning for the last 3.5 decades, and look forward to going to work, because happiness is a challenging surgical case done well. And then I love teaching. I really, really love teaching. I like to pass on my knowledge to people. I try my best to do that. And what I try best to do is to tell them my mistakes, so that they don't repeat the same mistakes. They will make other mistakes of their own. And then, of course, there's patient satisfaction, multiple testimonials, but I really won't go into that. Travel. Like I said, we love to travel. We've been to a few countries whenever we could. And as a doctor, you will be very surprised to learn that it's pretty late in life that you can actually afford to go on vacations. It's only after the age of 35, 40 that you can do that. But we've been lucky to go. But of course, we have an extensive bucket list before the knees go and before the mind goes. So hopefully, in the next few years, we'll be able to complete some of these in that bucket list. I love food. I'm not very well known as a foodie, but I really love food. Although you won't know from my trim and muscular physique, but I love food. And we love to enjoy new cuisine wherever we go, and that really brings happiness to me. Sports. I'm a sports fanatic. Between Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid, I choose Rahul Dravid any time of the day. Roger Federer, Lionel Messi, a magician. Usain Bolt, I wish I could run 1/10 as fast as him. Nowadays, I can't run even up the stairs. And then, of course, in the old days, Prakash Padukone used to be my hero, badminton player who won the All England Championships in 1980. I'll just finish with this one thing. There's one recent trip that ticked all the boxes that I mentioned earlier. We were just in New Zealand. We came back on the 29th of March. And what a beautiful, wonderful, magnificent place. I woke up at around 6:30 in the morning to see the sunrise at the Coromandel Peninsula in the North Island. And my daughter and I were witness to this sunset at this place called Wanaka. All the colors of the rainbow plus so many more. Magnificent sunset. I mean, how can you compete with nature? This is what gives really true happiness. Unbelievable nature. Also on that New Zealand trip, both my kids did what I could not do 29 years ago in 1997 when we went to New Zealand. My wife had done it though in 1997, and you will see what I mean. It's a sport called bungee jumping. You jump off the suspension bridge. That's my son doing that. My daughter few small little pygmy steps first, but I'm so proud that she could do what I could not do and I've never been able to do. There she goes.
Go for it!
See, that's me saying go for it and some stranger also saying go for it. Small steps and 1, 2, there. Wow.
Yay!
Happiness.
You go
Unbelievable.
now!
Again, paradise on earth. Nature is at its absolute most resplendent in New Zealand. This is Milford Sound. Let me just reduce the volume. Let me reduce the volume. Absolutely beautiful. There's a cruise that you can do there for about an hour and a half. And then Mount Cook, which is also in South Island. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And some more snippets. I'll finish very quickly now. Taupo and Waikato. And this, who else other than nature and possibly the creator can replicate this? Just magnificent. Subterranean, almost about, I would say, 20 stories down under the earth, the Arunui caves in Waitomo. Just absolute magnificence. Some more snippets of New Zealand. And then, of course, like I said, it ticked all the boxes. We saw a cricket match at Eden Park in Auckland between South Africa and New Zealand. And of course, we ate like we had never eaten before. So coming back to the main topic, last 3 or 4 slides, what are the clues that you're doing okay? You're doing better in life than you think. If you have laughed recently, even at some silly joke or some dark memes, you have at least one person in your life that you can text nonsense to. You care better enough to have a better life. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you're happy because you showed up here today. We tend to underestimate our wins. If you've gotten out of bed, laughed at certain things, if you forwarded at least one silly WhatsApp, if you cared enough to sit and hear my nonsense about happiness, you're already ahead of the game. So I want to end with these 2 slides of ancient, this is a Sanskrit Subhashit. Chitte prasanna bhuvanam prasannam, chitte vishanam bhuvanam vishannam. Atto bilasho yadite sukhe shat chitta prasade prathamam yatasva. If the mind is happy, the entire world seems happy. And if the mind is despondent, then the entire world seems despondent. So if you desire happiness, strive towards happiness of the mind first. And then everybody knows this. Karmanye vadikaraste mafileshu kadachana. The rest of it you all know. I will not go too much into it. But Lord Krishna said this to Arjun on the eve of the Kurukshetra war. It is part of the Bhagavad Gita. And who are we to say anything less than that? So my last, final, profound thought. I promise. Happiness is like your temperamental home Wi-Fi. To get better speeds, you need contentment. Move closer to what matters to you. And from time to time, shut it off and restart. I want to finish with this one small little clip, and I would be really profoundly appreciative if you could join me in this.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take away. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know.
Thank you very much.
Felicitate Dr. Milind Wagh. Please, sir, please come forward.